Good afternoon from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. Good morning. It's still morning because it's 11:55 a.m. on the 1st of December 2023. So, first day of a new month, and so it begins, my darlings. So we're going to continue with my journal entries of even dates, because why not? It's too hot to make jewellery anyway. It's very scathing hot here today, 33 degrees in Brisbane, and so I've brought I've got myself really organised to live in comfort for a change instead of schwitzing in the heat in the kitchen. And I'm in my living room with the air conditioning, and thank you to my earth angel, by the way, that provided that for me. And so I'm sitting here on my beautiful wooden camphor laurel desk that I slab that I turned into a desk when I first moved here, actually in 2003. No, correction, 2000. Yes, it was 2003. I had to think for a minute there. So yes, next May I will have lived in this house for 21 years. It's the longest I've ever stayed in one home. It's the most stability I've ever had in my life, which is why my mental health improved, and, also not being surrounded by my familial progenitors and all those their henchmen. You can't help but improve over time, being free of arseholes. So I have to do a complete nil by mouth fast from 12:30 on. So I'm just having one more drink, which I don't think is a really good idea when you're about to have a fast, because it's got lime juice and honey and cinnamon and olive oil in it. So it might be a bit grinding on my gears when I'm fully fasting for the next 5 hours. But it won't kill me. And then I'll go and have my ultrasound and sound on my bladder, and then we'll know where we're at, won't we? So it's all a process at the moment. It's all very much juggling all the balls in the air and getting things sorted. And I'm doing well. I've got one more thing I've got to do, which is the bladder diary, but I'll start that on Monday, I think, because I'm going to be at the markets on Saturday, so that's going to impede on all of that. Excuse the pun. Impede on the peeing measurements and all that stuff. So it's all a bit icky, but what can I say, At least I'm getting taken seriously at long last, and my new urologist will be able to decide based on the results which is the best course of treatment, and then I'll get maybe healthier, and then look out world, I'll be back riding my chariot, my Bodhisattva chariot, knocking down all obstacles in my way as I do, bit by bit by bit by bit by bit, like the Mustang Quay that I am. Anyway, today's reading, today's cover story, a cover picture. What was the title? The title of today's journalings in Vocal Media. And by the way, I say all this very tongue-in-cheek half the time. Christmas breakdowns and other horrors. December's not a good month for me, people. Can you tell? But anyway, I've got some very nice things coming up in the next few days, so I'm feeling a little bit, excited and happy about that. So getting new tyres on my car on Monday, which is also gonna eat up the rest of my money, but at least I'll know my car's safe, so that'll be good. So things are all just falling into perfect alignment, chipping away at things slowly. So 1st of December 2019, the Tanya is off her tree. And I didn't mean that I was on drugs, by the way. Again, that's my saying for I'm actually crazy. I used to go up to people and I go, I'm right off my tree. And they'd look at me in horror and think that I was on drugs. And what I meant was, I'm feeling a bit fucking crazy today. So I still use that expression erroneously. And I still find it hilarious when people jump to the wrong conclusions, right? But it is partly my fault because it's one of those sayings over the years that I've acquired that I didn't actually understand what the real meaning behind it is. It's one of those things that happen when you have a migrant parent with a foreign accent, although my mother had an excellent command of English, but I'd sometimes pick up mispronunciations or misappropriated what do you call that, phrasing. So idiomatic phrasings. So if I ever come up to you and go, I'm off my tree, I'm not on drugs, people, I'm just feeling a bit, discombobulated and not feeling quite well. That's what I really mean by that. Fortunately, that doesn't happen as often as it used to, thank goodness. Thank you to the gods, the goddesses, and my worthy psychiatrist. And my own indomitable spirit and will, by the way. Give myself a little credit. Because it was my decision to go off all the psych meds and I started going off them in early May 2016. And I've never looked back. It's the best thing I ever did. But it has been a journey of recovering from a lot of trauma as well. A lot of grief, a lot of heartache, and a lot of malevolence that I encountered out in the sea several years ago, courtesy of certain entities who shall not be named. Anyway, the Tanya is off her tree. It's Christmaka, Chanukah on 22nd of December, which this year, because we follow the Jewish calendar, is actually the lunar calendar. This year it will be the 7th of December, which is only 6 days away. So that's exciting. I do love Hanukkah. But anyway, this was a very bad year for me because I have not celebrated Christmas since before I converted as a young girl at 19. And here you have it in full flagrant. I don't know what that was. I actually look off my tree. I have this crazy look on my face. And even Charlie's like, what the fuck is this, mama? And I bought this little tiny tree and put all these little Christmas ornaments on it. Yeah, first time I put up a Christmas tree since 1984. Oh, so it was since my conversion. A major breakdown indeed. And the fucking fights I used to have with my mother and sister about Christmas, because they would not completely accept about me being Jewish when it came to Christmas time. So there would be these massive fights, and I'd be like, my mother quite rightly would point out, because she was an occultist, that the Christmas tree is actually a pagan symbol, which is correct. It does go back to pagan times, and even as far back as Roman times even. And my sister would say, why won't you put up a tree? And I went, because I'm a Jew. It's like, it's nuts to put up a Christmas tree when you're a Jew. And they said, but why? Because you've always done it. Since we were little kids, we've always done it. And I went, well, it doesn't sit with my worldview now and my philosophy on life and my entire religion and culture. And so we'd have this massive fight every fucking year. In the end, I just said, look, you do what you want, but if you want to have Christmas trees and all that jazz, I'll come to your houses, alternate Christmases. Don't bother coming to mine because there will not be a tree and I'm not going to compromise on that. And it's funny, when you hold your ground over something for long enough, eventually they just accepted it. But the massive fights, it was ridiculous. That and my mother trying to give what she said with chicken sausages, I'm pretty sure pork sausages, trying to feed my kids pork sausages at Christmas. I was like, we don't eat pork sausages, Mum. We're Jewish. She'd say, no, they are chicken sausages. They are chicken. And I said, Mum, don't try and pull the wool over my eyes. I was raised eating that shit with you. I know a pork sausage when I see one. Anyway, it used to be like fully insane. And of course, naturally, I'd get really quite distressed and triggered. So anyway, but a lot of that triggering went back way back into my early childhood, way before there was the whole Christmas tree and pork sausages sagas. Oh my goddess. But now you know why I'm a universalist now, and I just say, look, do whatever you want, follow whatever gods you want, follow your ancestors, all is one, there is only one energy, but you can call it whatever you like, you can worship whatever, I don't fucking care, just do your thing and don't force it on me, and we'll live very harmoniously and happily about it. Even my lovely little Muslim cleaning lady always laughs when she comes and she says, inshallah, and I went, inshallah, and I'm like, I'm praying to Allah, but Allah is the same energy really, it's just in the Muslim faith, right? It's not like I'm praying to other gods. But she always has a little chuckle. And I go, what is this little Jewish girl going to come up with next? And she goes, I don't know. But we have to laugh, Anyway, I've always liked the expression inshallah though. It's cute. It is. By the will of God. See, in Hebrew we don't say inshallah. We say be'ezrat Hashem, by the will of God. So, sometimes we say Baruch Hashem, like blessed be God. It's the same energy, it's just different language and transliterations and expressions. It's all nonsense. So in a way my mother was right. I should just put up the fucking Christmas tree and do the whole Christmas thing and have a weird look on my face like I had, and just to pretend to go along to get along, but I won't because I am defiant. So anyway, don't force your belief systems on me, and I won't force my belief systems on you. But my belief system is so all-inclusive now that everyone fits anyway. Like, I don't have a problem what you do in your privacy of your own home and which gods you worship, and I really don't. Just don't inflict them on me as some horrible curse or demonic invasion, and I'll be quite happy, You have to laugh. I should be careful though, because I do have a few dibbukim in the roof now. They're gathering like a storm for the Christmas bloodletting as they do every year. Never mind. I enjoyed my little chat in yesterday's video with my guardian angel, that was hilarious. That was a bit funny. The things I imagine, really. But I did kind of get the sense that they were saying, yep, don't worry, we've still got your back, baby. Oh my goodness. I can just imagine what it's be like when I finally transition into the world to come, into the next dimension. And I can just see all my guardian angels, because there would have been a series of them having to take shifts, right? Sometimes even during one evening when I'm out, because it can get a little crazy. I can just see they're all smoking, bedraggled, ripping at their ego. You drove us mad, you bitch. I'll be like, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. It wasn't all my doing though. I can just see it. It's just hilarious. It's just how my mind works. There was a meme about a guardian angel smoking and looking strung out though, that I did share on Facebook at one time. Oh, it was hilarious. I laughed so much I fell off the chair, Sometimes you just have to laugh at things. It's the best medicine. Anyway, we start our readings today with 1st of December 2022. It's a cold and rainy day, which is ironic, as a few days ago I finally took the electric blanket off my mattress due to the extreme heat. I am really tired today. My hands have that weird edema around the joints. I didn't do any gardening. Oh dear goddess. I didn't do any gardening or heavy work yesterday. So what the fuck? It's the heat. That's why my brain just does these little jangles. I get very odd in the heat. You have to put up with that if you like me, people. It's not easy being me. It really isn't. It's because I died too many times even during childhood. My cleaning lady just left. She told me she is feeling tired these days too. I suppose it's all the dramatic shifts in temperature, plus all the stress we all live under now. Her aunt sent her a photo of her swollen leg. I told her she needs to see a doctor as that is serious. So lots of worry about people's health in our current epoch. Read between the lines. Lynn is planning to visit me this afternoon. I'm looking forward to seeing her. Bobo is exhilarated as I found his favourite red Kong ball under the wardrobe. I mopped underneath that yesterday. He is sleeping next to his ball like it's a most precious commodity, which to a dog it truly is. Oh, bless. I gave all his doggy things. I had a massive big bag full of dog things. I gave a lot to my friend Peter and Robin down the road, for their little doggy. Because I hate waste, and it's like I wasn't going to use it again. I'm hoping the rain stops soon. It's been rather a lot again. A lovely respite from the intense heat and humidity last week though. No emotional breakdowns this year. I'm not really having one either this year either. I'm just like, just dealing with this annoyance of having to deal with, ultrasound today and that diary thing. But that's just a mild annoyance. It's not like a massive breakdown causing thing. So I wrote, so that's nice. The silly season is upon us. It's so silly. Most of my neighbours already have their Christmas trees up. Some went up right after Halloween. People are trying to suck every ounce of pleasure out of life. I get it, but it's still triggering. So, but oh well, what can you do? I made this, what is that stuck on? I made this pinky ring. Can you see it? Where are we? Down here. I made this pinky ring from a tiny salt spoon I bought a few months ago. So that's cute. First of December 2020. More decluttering. Sick of tripping over old Ormi stuff. Ormi is German for grandma. In my small government house. Someone in the neighbourhood might want them. And here the cute thing was, my little friend, my little neighbour boy that lives... Hang on, I can't see it. Can you see it? Oh yeah, we can see it now. My little neighbour boy that lives about a block away. He's a sweet little boy, and he took the time all through COVID to visit me on his way home from school. Walking past, he'd stop very often and have a little chat, and he's a very serious, very intellectual little boy, very bright, and I think probably a little bit on the Asperger's spectrum as well, but no judgment, but just very bright but very serious. And I don't know what it is about young boys and men, but sometimes they develop these weird crushes on me, which, you know, with a little boy like that, it's harmless enough. It's the older men that I have to sometimes swat down. But anyway, this lovely young lad is come visit me and have a little chat, and he saw that I had the tapestries out on the front verge. And they're lovely tapestries. I could have actually sold them, but I just wanted to clear out the space and get rid of old energy, you know. So he, bold as brass, I was actually standing in the laundry at the time. He'd come through the front gate. I don't know why Bobo didn't alert me to his presence. And he'd walked up the side of the house and he just appeared like in front of my laundry. And I actually got a hell of a fright because I didn't expect anyone to be standing there. And I said, what's going on, Harrison? He said, I just want to know, are you giving away those things on the front verge? And I said, yes, that's why they're out there. I said, that's what you do. You put it out there and anyone can take it. He said, there was one that had the Dutch windmill, which I actually did when I was 9 years old. How are we going to show you? I don't know if we can enlarge it. No, we can't. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Anyway, I did that when I was 9 years old. The Dutch windmill one. Where is it? Oh yeah, you can vaguely see it. So he said, because my grandfather is Dutch and he will love that. And I nodded because I was kind of made, forced, coerced, pressured, influenced, harassed to make it for my Dutch stepfather, which didn't bother me too much. At 9 years old, you don't worry about it. You just get on with the job, right? So I'd sit there after school every evening making that Dutch tapestry of, you know, the windmill with all the tulips. It's a lot of freaking work. You know, these things are a lot of work. And so I did that, and then he actually framed it. He went and did a course. My stepfather went and did a course on learning how to do the framing. So he did all the lovely frames, which saved a little bit of money on that. But they were expensive frames that my mother had very opulent taste. So anyway, this little boy said, can I have that for my Dutch grandfather? He'll be thrilled. And his other grandfather was Irish. So I said, all right, take the Nell Gwyn one, because she was a famous prostitute or consort to, pardon me, I'm trying to remember which king it was. Can't remember which king it was, but way back, you know, in the 1700s, something like that. I said, take that for your Irish grandfather. He'll have a laugh over that. And take the other one. And then I went, how are you going to get it home, Harrison? He went, I haven't thought about that. So I said, all right, jump in the car. We'll put the tapestries in the car and I'll deliver them to your house. So his father gave him this very weird look when he arrives with this adult woman looking all smug and delighted, young Harrison, because, you know, he was proud of bringing the gifts for his family, you know. He's a lovely little boy. I haven't seen him very often in recent months, but he came past the other day and said hello, you know. He's 15 now. But yeah, so that was actually really cute. And in a way, I said to him, it's very cute that the Dutch tapestry that I made when I was a little girl is going to another Dutchman, because I said he will love it. I said, but bear in mind it's like 46 years old or something, and, you know, it's a bit moth-eaten, and it's not you know, it's not at its best, and it kind of needs a good clean too. And Harrison went, oh no, my granddad won't mind, he'll be thrilled. And then a few months later I said, was granddad happy with the, or Opa was happy with the picture? Oh yeah, he really was. So anyway, it was like the gift that kept giving, right? And I kind of liked that the energy didn't just get completely destroyed and chucked out. And the frames were worth a bit of money too. They could always rip it out and put something else in the frames or renovate the frames. So I've still got a lot of tapestries here, but I just got rid of all the excess stuff. I didn't have room on the walls. Literally don't have room on my walls anymore to put anything anyway. Anyway, I had another disaster with the resin. It cooked too quick in the heat outside. I was painting my boxes under the umbrella, but too hot. I think I rescued the big one in time, fingers crossed. If it's completely ruined, I will never use resin again, ye gads. Why do I keep doing stuff I am no good at, like breathing, existing, and other assorted weird fuckery? But I kept going and painted another old box in leftover flat black paint. I had just enough to finish it. I'm just going to quickly get another drink of water because in 10 minutes I have to fast. So I'm fudging the fast as quickly as I can. Trying to beat the system, my own system, and because I don't want to be like desperately thirsty for the next 5 hours. That won't be pleasant, will it? Especially when I'm trying to read stuff to you. So just getting a strange number calling me, but I don't know who it is, and I don't answer calls when I'm videoing. Right. Oh, that's better. That's better. So we continue. Fuck. Just flooded my kitchen. It was epic. On the bright side, my kitchen floor is cleaner than it was before. Grr. My cousin Melissa Rose, wrote, "Go and admit it, it needed mopping anyway, ha ha ha." And because it's an in-joke in my family, amongst my family and friends, how I hate mopping floors. I really do. I got so much better things to do than running around mopping floors. So I really resent it. So so I replied, "It was on my agenda today, but I had an ignoble tossing preemptive strike. But yes, after that disaster, I have continued with cleaning the floors and simultaneously cleaning out my house." So she would have had a big laugh at that. That's the only reason I did it, right? Because I had to, because everything was flooded. Like, oh, bejesus. I used to think about it. I said, oh, it's a sign. It's time to clean my house. The floors get mopped regularly every week now and vacuumed by my cleaning lady, which is so wonderful. But actually, like I said, read out earlier, sometimes I have to do it under the furniture and that because she just does the visible bits and it doesn't actually get a thorough clean. But that's okay. However it works, right? 1st of December 2018. I had an awful night last night being harassed yet again at the Treasury Casino. I took off my stiletto shoe and chased the fucker away from me, tempted to beat him with my shoe, but stopped myself as what will that prove? I will look like the aggressor, and no one, not even my so-called friends, ever has my back. Mind you, that little fucker had been harassing me at that stage already for years, so I finally snapped. But anyway, I didn't actually hit him with the stiletto, although it was a tempting thought. It was, and everyone was like laughing because I'm hopefully chasing him, going like that, as if I was going to actually hit him. So he took off like a long dog. So here I continue. So I went downstairs to report the incident to the security manager. Now they would have seen all that on CCTV, by the way, who walked me politely back upstairs to the dance floor and asked me to point out the guy. But he had left after my epic, furious scene. as you would, because I was quite serious about seriously contemplating smacking him over the head with my shoe. But I don't get into trouble for that. Isn't that amazing? But that's because they knew that he had literally been harassing me for years. And they would just sit back and let him harass me. This went on for years and years and years. So, anyway, a bit of comedy for them, right? Seeing the warrior goddess finally go into warrior goddess mode, which can be a bit confronting, even for me in the midst of it. The security guy said he would look at the CCTV footage, but I know they won't bother. They agreed I should report to police, but I know they won't protect me either. Never ever have. Through 3 strangulations and 18 months of constant harassment at Waterford West, not even with the assaults at Irish Murphy's. Yeah, I get it. I am a woman on my own, so society wants me dead, like the 62 other women and children that were slaughtered by their husbands and fathers this year. That was in 2018, right? I know I am a weirdo for having the temerity, or as we say in Hebrew, chutzpah, to put myself out on that dance floor every week for over 7 years now. How dare I dress up and try to make myself feel powerful, beautiful, and happy, and hold my own on my spot and dare with absolute intrepid chutzpah to fully engage with my life by dancing and having a good time. What kind of freak, where is it? Sidebar. What kind of freak doesn't just crawl away and die? Why, the Tanya, of course. That's who. Dying because no one values, respects, or appreciates me is no longer an option. It never really was, but I got extremely triggered the last time I tried to die. Well, I didn't die. Unfortunate, inconvenient, but like all survivors, proof that for some ridiculous reason I am meant to be here. On earth, dancing, fighting for myself, by myself, over and over again. Writing my truth, speaking my truth, loving my truth, being my truth in a luckless, loveless, woman-hating world. I left the casino early and went to buy a big fat Magnum ice cream and a sausage roll, musing cheerfully at my big fat phallic intent. I went to sit in the Queen's Park. The ice cream was salty hazelnut and cool in my mouth. I somehow didn't enjoy it as much as I should have. I struggled with the sausage roll after the ice cream. It was stodgy and dry in my mouth, and I was tempted to throw the last quarter out, but ate it anyway. How interesting that I force myself to complete a task, a mission that has already lost all flavour and joy. I must try to stop doing that. It is only programming. Someone can always, lost it. Where is it? Someone can always step into my breach when I'm gone. Here we go. The cold water's making my lungs arc up. As Susie taught me as a young waitress, no one is indispensable, Tanya, i.e. I am easily replaced and have a use-by date. Fodder for a cannon that trifles with no fool. $12.29, 1 minute before I have to fast. I can complete a task, babies. I can come to full completion, babies. Load them up and watch them explode into 1,000 pieces. But unbeknownst to those poor, greedy, empty fucks, the Tanya reinvigorates, reconfigures, rebuilds, and gets up and pushes forward in her own desecrated, violated life. And truly, no one can stop her but death, who chooses not to, as he is one of her best, most precious friends. A nod in his direction. Her other best friends, life and love, drag her around by the nose, always a carrot tip away. I just realised how that sounded. But anyway, never mind. The intention was there. Held from me at a distance to stare or leer or play idiotic schoolboy games. But I follow my snubbed nose and my broken, remodelled heart, and I come out to dance, to play, to reclaim my life in my own way. The only way, just for today, sashay away. The good old sashay away. That's a RuPaul reference, by the way. I asked the tree, "What is love, tree?" She answered, pushing down firm roots deep into the earth while simultaneously reaching for the stars. Holding your ground in turbulent tempests and deep frosts of despair and loneliness, while simultaneously communing with your community across the globe, knowing even in the naked winter of your disconnection and grief that there will be a new blossoming. Leaves will unfurl and swirl, and blooms will form and show off their new sacred patterning, perhaps to a new audience for the very first time, who will stand and watch in awe. At times, progress and growth will seem slow and abstemious, but in the springtime, a sudden burst of new invigoration. What's going on here? A sudden burst of new invigoration will delight and surprise. The bad times that gnawed the trunk and are cut off from source will seem arduous and harrowing, but will strengthen us and grow us wise and glorious, until some mad fuck comes to cut us down and mulch us into the earth, where we will slowly rot and feed the soil to foment a new evolution and more trees. In the lush soil will be our memory of our grandeur, and we will grow again, a new tree, a new life, in the eternal Tsum, expanding and contracting, pushing and pulling, outwards and inwards, off-gassing and breathing, photosynthesizing, philosopher, philosophizing, living. That is love. And here I am, lying under my tree, having a conversation with the dryads of the tree. As I do, I mean, what else am I going to do when I'm lying in my hammock under the tree, looking up at all that splendour? Still in 2018. I used to play my mother's favourite songs to her often in her final battle with Alzheimer's. It was fascinating to see a spark arise in her eyes. Her true spirit would light up. Yes, even my evil, ghastly mother, who had caused me so much harm, had a beautiful spirit buried deep under all the vileness. It was hard for me to reconcile the beauty in the madness and the evil. That was another mission I should have walked free of and saved myself decades of horror and grief. Horseshit, all of it, this life. And that was in response to an article posted, "Study, memories of music cannot be lost to Alzheimer's and dementia." And that is true. If you have an elderly friend or neighbour or relative in a dementia or Alzheimer's ward, find out what their favourite songs from their youth were and go and play it to them and watch this light flicker in their eyes as they come to life like an unfurling flower right in front of your face. And it's only for the duration of the song, and then they go back into their zombie state. But it's magical to watch. I mean, it's painful too, especially if it's a close relative that if you deeply loved them, it would be extremely painful. But I actually found it almost like a scientific kind of experiment, watching my mum spark up and then watching her go back into herself again. The other thing I used to do was crack jokes with her about just funny, weird anecdotes from our family life. You know, sometimes not very nice anecdotes, like the anecdote about one Christmas when my paedophile Uncle Trevor, my godfather, had a massive fight with my mother. And I was about 7 at the time, and she was throwing all the top shelf spirit bottles full of liquor down on our driveway and smashing them at his feet, right? So first went the Johnny Walker Black Label, and then the Johnny Walker Red Label, and she went the rum. It all went smack, and I'm watching this like a little imp, quite delighted. And it got to the bottle of vodka, and my mother's favourite drink, being German and Polish ancestry, was vodka. So she holds up the vodka and she just does this little shake and thinks about it. And I'm looking at her and I went, "Don't do it, Mummy. You like vodka." Always me, even at 7, pragmatic. And she sort of went, "Yeah," and put that down. And then she went to pick up the strawberry liqueur, which was my favourite. And I was like, "No, Mummy, not the strawberry liqueur. Please, not the strawberry liqueur." And she looked at me and she went, "Yes, I think so too." So she put those aside but continued smashing the rest. The ouzo went, everything. And Trevor's standing on our driveway looking up, screaming, "Not that one! That was $40 a bottle, or whatever it cost in those days, right? And I tell you what, I took great delight in that. I had to get my revenge the only way I could, vicariously, through my mad mother, right? Who had no idea the level of revenge that I was needing to get. Well, actually, she did. She admitted it in 2000, the evil cow. But anyway, I was sort of like constantly in this vendetta of ways of getting revenge on my adult caregivers because they were all dysfunctional, evil bastards, really. There's no other way to describe it, you know. Years of therapy has brought me to this way to express myself without holding the slightest way back or even being the slightest bit embarrassed, because it's very liberating when you can look at your monsters and describe them accurately and shamelessly, with great triumph and glee, by the way. 1st of December 2017. Oh my God, I just let Bobo out into the garden and he sort of pounced on a wild rainbow lorikeet that grabbed Bobo on his shoulder and bit down hard and was screeching and flapping its wings at him in full attack mode. I thought the aggressor was the dog at first, but that bird hung on for dear life. I chased them with a stick, hoping to scare the bird away from Bobo, but they ran down the garden in full flight until somewhere at the front of the yard, the wild, angry bird let go and flew off. Charlie was greatly amused. He is bringing his own kin to play War of the Roses at my house. Poor Beauregard is utterly amazed and slightly humiliated. 1st of December 2016. The storm blew over with a piddly dribble of rain. I had pulled my hammocks in and was inside, looking forward to a good torrential rain. Bupkis. Bastard Thor and Odin rolled on by. But hopefully some more storm front rolls through and dumps much wanted rain here. I feel all jangled, all dressed up with nowhere to go feeling. I hate when a storm blows through, gets me all twitter-pated, then leaves with barely any rain or thunder or lightning, like a giant premature ejaculator that goes off to jerk off somewhere else. Reminds me of my marriage. No, it was not funny. Grr. My friend Terry replied, "Fuck you, make me laugh. Ha 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 ha." I said, "Well, storms are my most favourite thing. Storms and sex make me feel alive. Pity I can't get either, lol." From my friend Nigel. What's this about? From my friend Nigel. If you know anyone planning to visit New Zealand, tell them to wait 12 months. They are seeing movement and movement patterns not seen here before. For example, one recent fault that moved had not moved since the late 1870s. They are fairly certain another big one is due soon, so they have told New Zealanders to prepare as they are seeing earthquake slip patterns not seen before. More bloody fear-mongering. But then hang on a minute, when was the Christchurch earthquake? Maybe it wasn't fear-mongering, maybe that did manifest. I'll have to Google it later. But anyway, yes, New Zealand, the Shaky Isles. 1st of December 2015. No, Christchurch happened earlier because I think it was around about 2009, because I was still with the courtmeister back in those days. And his mother was quite upset because she came from Christchurch, and Christchurch, was very badly damaged. So yes, and I think that is right. Oh, like my memories are starting to all fade, it's getting quite disturbing actually. 1st of December 2015. I had a nice lunch with my cousin Melvin. Maya Centre parking was $35, but I haven't seen Mel in 6 months, so it was worth it. Also being able to get home quickly in the stinking heat, and I'm just realised I'm so hungry and I've got to fast for the next 5 hours. It's psychosomatic. It's because anytime someone tells me I'm going to withhold food from you, I go into warrior, goddess, Viking, berserker, Jewish mode. It's really disturbing. To calm my farm. You won't die if you don't eat for 5 hours. Calm your farm, Tanya. Just cool it. You have to laugh. It's funny, in the middle of that reading, my stomach just went, row. It's probably the olive oil hitting my stomach though with the lime juice. I said at the beginning that wasn't a good idea. Really, Tanya. On a day when you have to go to the hospital for a test, you feed yourself olive oil and lime juice. Are you some kind of idiot? Yes. Also being able to get home quickly in the stinking heat as I worry about my Bobo. He is doing well, nice and cool from lying in the ice pack, on the ice pack and wet towel. I have covered my car with my hail cover as I have bad pain in my left knee as the storms are building. Yeah, oddly, I had pain in my left knee again the other day, and I haven't had pain in that bad knee for a few years, so that freaked me out. I was like, oh dear God, please don't let me need a bloody knee replacement or anything awful like that. But it was very, very painful. It's just odd how that just suddenly kicked in again, like a nerve pain. Because I smashed my left knee falling down in the Green Slopes shopping mall, and the spiralling like walkway that spirals. I actually fell down, smashed, landed right on my knee. That was about 20 years ago now, but oh my God, I used to writhe in agony. And because I'm not a compo queen like my father, the dickhead loser compo king, I didn't even try and get compo for it because I was like, oh well, you fall over, shit happens. But I tell you, it was quite some years of terrible pain. Bobo and I are cuddling. He is chewing everything. I had to get him away from my handbag. Very sweet but strong boy. So, it appears one of my friends on my list had to have been sending screenshots of my status updates re Alcide, which was the little Pomeranian puppy that got stolen from me in effect. There is no way she could have known about the Beauregard or my comment about her hiding behind a P.O. box number otherwise. Not everyone who smiles at me is my friend, you think? Even worse, I have 89 friends on here, and one is a traitor who fed into my drama and chaos with the breeder woman to undermine me when I am already in deep distress. So another person is behaving like a personality disordered fuckknuckle. I have Bev on block. She was wrong to accuse me of making Alcide sick and basically cheating me out of having him and now suing me. I was wrong too. Wrong to trust in a healthy puppy and in a sociopath. Once again, I am paying an inordinately heavy price for my childlike naivete and love for an animal. I will always love that dog. It's not the dog's fault he became one of Solomon's babies. Now, for the traitor on my friends list, please remove yourself. If you think I am a dumb, nasty asshole who deserves to be damaged over and again and you get your kicks by screenshotting me and supporting my enemies, then you are not worthy of being my friend online or offline. I only have relatively few friends on here, as I have had decades of bitter experiences with cruel and spiteful people. I really don't want or need any more. Thank you. And then I replied to someone's comment, yes, they can. What blows my mind is how frequently I keep attracting them. I almost wish I had died on 22nd of August. I can't seem to stop constant cascading traumas and psychopaths from entering my life. And my friend Louise wrote, how horrible of this person, shame on this person to do this. And then Sally asked, who is this Bev woman anyway? And I replied, the breeder I bought Little L seed from. And then Julie wrote, what an absolute asshole thing to do. Whoever this person is seriously needs to take a good look at their own life and behaviour. I'm sorry that a so-called friend is doing this to you, Tanya. They're probably sitting back reading all this and smirking because their own pathetic life is not worth writing about. And I replied, agreed, Julie, kiss. So, yeah, and this was only like literally 3 months after my suicide attempt. So I was really still scrambling to get equilibrium and get well again. And they did all that shit to me. It was pure evil, absolute evil. It's just unbelievable. Still getting messages from Bev, who seems to still see my page. I am not afraid of this woman. I did nothing wrong. I will see her in court. She states she is selling her house, so that is why the P.O. box. Dodgy excuses all the way. Ever heard of mail redirection? I will let the police and or courts find her and her little puppy farm anywhere. Keep threatening me, Bev. Keep profiteering of people's emotions and trauma. Facebook Pomeranian pages that slander good people who did the right thing by our seed make you look to be the guilty one. Ever thought of that? And anyway, I won't go on because it goes on for a while, everyone being very loving and supportive of me. But I don't want to keep feeding into that ugliness. It's long gone now, and she really was an evil piece of shit, but she was one of many that came and went out of my life, and it does leave a very bad taste in my mouth. And as my friend Tarina said, keep your chin up high, keep acting with integrity like you always do. You're a classy lady who always tries her best. So, I really appreciated the support I had at that time from my friends who knew that I had just literally come back from the brink of death, and all I wanted was a beautiful little puppy in my life, which I did have with little Beauregard, But what a nightmare that was. What an absolute nightmare. First of December 2014. Yes, sirree, that's my baby. Love her to bits. I just took my car to my beautiful baby's house. She took me back home. My daughter used my car more than me in the first years that I owned it when it was brand new. I mean, really, like what the fuck? Never mind. I was invested in her career, but she's never been invested in mine. Not that I have much of a career, but oh well, let it go, Tanya. As my mother used to say in German, weg damit. Weg damit. Just let it the fuck go. She has work at the New York Film Academy teaching phonetics, so I will be carless until Wednesday night. So if you want me, come and get me, laughing my ass off. She did eventually buy her own little car, which is good, you know. But I'll just leave it there. I'm very excited. My prayers have been heard and answered. Baby steps in the direction of my heart. What the fuck? I have been shown I am on the right path. Now all I have to do is be patient. Good times are a-coming. Well, that took many years to manifest, didn't it? Many bloody, almost 10 years for the good times to finally come. And it actually took me walking out on that cesspit of a casino being so abusive to me after my beautiful boy Beauregard died. On the 5th of August was the last time I set foot in that joint. And it was almost like this oppression of evil just, not immediately, took a few more weeks, but it was almost like this oppression lifted like a pot off a boiling lid of frogs scrambling to survive me. But all of a sudden, it's like in the new club that I'm going to, everyone just kind of lit up and made me welcome, and all these lovely things are manifesting in my life now. So had I known years ago that the evil was actually coming from the actual dance space I was in for 13 years, I would have left there permanently years ago. I did leave them on 2 other occasions when they were nasty, and then I went back. But I won't be going back this time, babies. 3 strikes, you're out, Treasury Casino. You fucking monsters, you. But anyway, weg damit. Next, I'm living my best life. And that, my friends, is the ultimate revenge on any enemy you can ever have. Be happy, live your best life. 1st of December 2013. It's a very out of focus photo. Why did I put such a shitty photo up on Vocal Media? I'm sure I've got better photos. Anyway, it's me cradling Ramon, the rare Queensland rabbit, who was, where is he? There he is. Who was part of Crystal's, my daughter Crystal's clown play business when she was a professional clown for a few years there. I'm very annoyed she gave up clowning because she was excellent at it, but for some reason she says she doesn't want to be a clown anymore. I don't know what's behind that rationale. But anyway, there's my friend Jared and Crystal avoiding me taking a photograph of them because they're naughty children and they can. Also, even my dog got sick of me being the paparazzi, so there is that. I can be annoying at times. It's part of my charm, darlings. It's part of my charm. 7 a.m. Finally lying in bed resting after a big weekend dancing. Foot sore but getting better. No alcohol due to antibiotics, so last night's outing was inexpensive. Phew. Sarah took me to, that cow. But anyway, we'll have to read on because I'll have to accept my reality. Sarah took me to a new venue called, wait for it, Sabotage, which was an excellent club, by the way, but synchronicity, babies, says it all, doesn't it? Which was classy and quirky at the same time. I loved the gentlemen's leather lounges and the mix of different music. We danced wildly and joyously with 3 lovely gay guys. That was the most fun, but we had also moshed wildly at the Elephant Arms to Alter Egos. See, I've been following Alter Egos for a very long time. Which is why they're used to my weird shenanigans now. I am so happy that I went out even though I had to dance in my flat, ungainly, but really trendy Birkenstocks all weekend, and was surprised how I still managed to dance with my sore foot. Sarah gave me some lovely dresses too. Very happy and grateful woman here. Even though she turned out to be an evil cow at the end, one has to maintain one's integrity and honour the nice things that people did for me as well. It's just awful that it went so ugly at the end though. That was completely unnecessary on her part. It was completely unnecessary as a euphemism because it was actually something else. Something the fuck else. Anyway, 1st of December 2012. Dancing tonight again, this time with flat summer sandals. Feet are still objecting to yesterday's efforts in my gorgeous, sexy, high-heeled Docs. Oh God, I miss those Docs. Oh, they were fabulous. They were all steel studded all over and stilettos, and I fucking loved those Docs. I bought them with my small inheritance, and I was famous for wearing those at Irish Murphy's and at the casino in the Elephant, by the way. They were fabulous boots. I would love to get another pair of boots like those again, but they don't make them anymore. Like, what the fuck? It's just awful. I miss them already, but will give my feet a rest from compression obsession, lol. So the previous writing was big night dancing at the casino last night. Had a great time, had only one Jack Daniels all night as was broke, but it's cool dancing sober and observing the interactions between people, lol. Came home at 4 a.m, just woke up. I went to my doctor yesterday and was alarmed that I have not lost any weight after all the dancing the past few months. We'll have to cut down on fried food, cakes and lollies. Wah. My cholesterol. Even she used to laugh at me. She'd go, do you think it might be a diet, Tanya? Oh no, I'm exercising as fast as I can. I think it's your diet, Tanya. So I must admit, she used to stir me up a bit, and I'd take it because she was, in that respect, she was right. My cholesterol is up to 7.7, so major dietary changes in order. Meanwhile, I will keep dancing in the weekends, even though I am exhausted all week after. I'm thinking, if no weight loss, I might tone instead. Time will tell. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. The toning is happening. Now that I dance more wildly, because they were playing cruise ship entertainment for the last few years at the casino, like the music was just very mainstream and boring. I couldn't even get into a sweat. Like it wasn't even a cardio workout for me. But now I'm dancing at Brooklyn Standard on Friday nights, and both bands alternate each week, play hard rock. I get the full mosh and get go rah, 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 rah. And I'm actually toning. So if I ate less junk and toned, I'd be absolutely fabulous. Babies. But will I ever eat less junk? This is the question. 1st of December 2011. I had a happy day. I've had, oh God, blurred, my eyes literally blurred just then. I've had a happy day and done the housework, so we'll have a clean, fresh start to the weekend. I'm glad the storm finally broke through, as the oppressive barometric pressure was causing havoc with me. But I feel so much better now. Yesterday I was schwitzing, that means sweating, schwitzing like a hog and really suffering from the heat. And tonight I am actually cold. It's nice to be cooler, but these temperature extremes are guaranteed to make everyone sick. Lynn and I went to the Coorparoo RSL for lunch. Lynn won me beer in a raffle and I was so happy. Then we went to play pokies and Lynn won $10. A lucky, happy day. She actually gave me the beer she'd won, which I thought was hilarious. I said, don't you want to give it to your husband? She said, no, I want you to have it. So that was very lovely of her. I actually don't drink beer very often, only in like a really, really intense summer heat. I haven't bought beer for the house in years. I must think about it now that summer's coming on. Well, has come on. Tomorrow, Miss Bella Rosa Aarons is having her fur clipped at Canine Castle. She will be so relieved and much cooler. 1st of December 2010. Very triggered emotionally by redoing the affidavit, of which the majority will not be sent to court. So why? I had this absolute dickhead lawyer, the first lawyers I was dealing with. Oh, they were complete morons. They were triggering me. They were making me write all about my child sexual abuse experiences in minute detail, which wasn't even going to be allowed in court. So it was some fucking little office Sharon sadist getting off on my trauma. It was that evil. Good news is that my new lawyer has lodged the originating application, so I can see he is taking action and working hard for me. So there's a light that may illuminate my entire worldview and not be just another train at the end of my never-ending tunnel. Today, I had a nice sleep with my window open behind me, listening to the teeming rain. It was so cozy and comforting. I heard a wonderful mimicking bird outside my window, so I went outside to look for a lyrebird, but could only see a large magpie sheltering under the eaves next to my bedroom window. 1st of December 2009. I am furious and disappointed that NIDA told Crystal that her work is faultless, but they still didn't have a place for her. What a bunch of schmucks. I was really, really, as you can imagine, upset about that. And thus concludes today's offerings. And have a beautiful day. As I say always, in the space-time continuum, live your best life. Never let the bastards grind you down. Be radiant and joyous and carefree. And if you can't feel carefree, then set yourselves free or fake it till you make it, babies. Much love from the Tanya at Titania's Realm. God's bless.